Are you fighting against God? Welcome to Seeking God with Leah Klein, health and wholeness coach. And our verse for today is James 4:7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Are you submitting to God? Are you still trying to fight against the path that God has laid out in front of you? And unfortunately, that doesn't really work, in case you hadn't noticed. When we try to go to God and say, okay, here's my plans, bless them. Um, if they're not his plans and what he has for you, he's not going to bless them. And this is one of the reasons that you need to connect with God on a deeper level regularly to go, okay, God, is this my plan or yours? Is the reason I'm getting completely wiped out doing this because you never intended me to do this or keep doing this. It was for a time and a season, and that season has passed. What do you have for me now? Because God gives us grace for each new day, and He will give us grace for what He's assigned to us, not what we've taken on or what we've held on to that we need to let go of. Are you trusting Him? Because submitting, surrendering is an act of trusting. It's an action you take when you're trusting that no matter what it looks like, God's plan is right and perfect and for your ultimate good, even if it doesn't look like it in the moment. It all comes back to trusting. Trust is an action. You can't trust something until you take action that shows that you're trusting. So, a example of this would be I can be, trusting this chair to hold me, but if I'm just looking at it and saying I'm trusting it to hold me, that doesn't mean anything until I actually sit in the chair and then I'm trusting because I took the action that showed I was trusting. Because we can say we're trusting, but our actions don't always speak the same language as what we're saying. So, how how are you submitting? How are you trusting him with what's going on in your life, letting him have the reins instead of fighting him for it? Now, the second part of our verse is, if you're fighting God about what's going on in your life, control of your life, etc., you can't fight the devil at the same time. You're going to have a battle on more than one front, and you're going to be losing one of them. And it's probably going to be both, actually. If you fight God, you don't win. Um, Not ultimately. Um, but just as a side note on that, if you think about Jacob wrestling with the angel of the Lord, translation, Jesus, he didn't really win. He just kept hanging on and he was blessed. But he also limped the rest of his life. So it wasn't 100%. He got humbled and he needed it. And sometimes we do as well. But just remember that you have an enemy that is actively trying to derail your life, especially if you're doing what God wants you to be doing and you are taking a stand, you're standing firm, and you are taking action. The devil doesn't like that. He is going to be trying to put up roadblocks in any way, shape, or form that he can. And you can't fight him if you're not submitted to God and getting your strength from him and your knowledge from him that this is not a battle that's about me. This is a spiritual battle. This is not physical. And it's from him that you get the knowledge and the know-how to resist so that he will flee until a more opportune time. It's not permanent until it's permanent, but you want to send him off with his tail between his legs. And you can't do that if you're fighting God at the same time. Submit to God, ask him his plans, and let God show you. Ask him, what am I hanging on to that I need to let go of? What am I fighting for? I want this. What are you doing that with that you need to just go, okay, God, it's yours. If you want to do something in this area of my life, show me. But otherwise, it's over here. I'm not going to keep hanging on to this area with a death grip. I'm going to go, okay, what do you want me to do? And if you're having trouble hearing from God, let me show you why that may be happening and how to connect more deeply with my free ebook, Seeking God. And that's available at healthturnaroundcoaching.com/seeking-God. And that's available. Link is in the show notes. So feel free to get that and go deeper with God and use that as a tool. And for our time today, I wanted to wrap up by doing I Know Whom I Have Believed and or believed. And if you know it, feel free to sing along. If you don't, feel free to just listen. I know not why God's wondrous grace to me he hath made known, nor why unworthy Christ in love redeemed me for his own. But I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. I know not how this saving faith to me he did impart, nor how believing in his word brought peace within my heart. But I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. I know not how the Spirit moves, convincing men of sin, revealing Jesus through the Word, create faith in him. But I know whom I believe and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. I know not when my Lord may come at night or noonday fair, nor if I'll walk the vale with him or meet him in the air. But I know and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. And I will see you next week with another verse. See you then.